I haven't had a meal in almost 4 years.
A woman terrified of food.
My wife, Vanessa, believes she will choke and die.
She went from 115 pounds to just 75.
What do you see there?
A disaster.
It looks skeleton-y.
When that plate of food is in front of me, the fear is so real, I can't eat it.
A grocery store for you is like going through a house of horrors.
I hate my life.
Plus, what happened to sexy vegan after Dr. Phil kicked him off stage?
I still love wearing Speedos.
Those shorts could be scary.
Since you were here last time, you haven't been arrested.
After the show, I thought I was going to get committed.
Let's do it.
Have a good show, everybody. Here we go.
This is a safe place to talk about hard things.
Stand by. We'll count you down.
Today's going to be a changing day in your life.
5, 4.
I am not giving up on you. Thank you. Well, you may remember Susan and her son, Sexy Vegan, who walked and danced the streets of Hollywood wearing nothing but a Speedo, carrying a full-length mirror wherever he went. Well, a lot has happened since then, and we're going to catch up with Sexy later on the show. But first, I want you to meet someone else. I want you to meet 34-year-old Vanessa, who says she is, quote, knocking on death's door. Now, Vanessa says she is physically and mentally afraid of food, weighs only 90 pounds, and is convinced if she eats anything, she will choke and die. Now, her husband, Michael, says he is tired of her antics, as he calls them, and wants their old life back. Take a look.
I haven't had a meal in almost 4 years. I suffer from ARFID, anorexia, avoidant restrictive food intake disorder. It's basically a fear of food.
My wife, Vanessa, has become obsessed with her ARFID diagnosis.
I'm gonna try some of this one. I think this one has cinnamon in it, though.
She truly believes she's allergic to almost any food
Yes, it does.
and will choke and die.
Damn it. What a waste.
I'm surviving on protein shakes, ice cream, water, safe foods.
I eat a lot of candy. I eat a lot of junk food. These are great. I love these. Chewy. No choking hazard.
Vanessa says she's allergic to almost anything you can imagine.
This whole plate is a no.
I carry 3 EpiPens everywhere I go.
But my wife doesn't have any allergies. She's been to numerous allergy doctors who've tested her, and she's allergic to almost nothing.
I've seen about 6 doctors, but I don't believe them.
At one point, she got so bad that she felt as though an ice cube could send her into anaphylactic shock.
This all started in 2009 when I got a hepatitis B shot. I immediately started feeling sick. I had constant panic attacks. I couldn't leave the house. I even have a fear of grocery stores. Walking into a grocery store just really does make me want to cry. I look in the mirror right now, I just see a skinny, skeleton-y. I think I look like an alien a little bit. I used to have these really beautiful thick arms and thick thighs. At my lowest, worst weight, I was 72 pounds.
You don't like it, never mind. Just say you don't like it.
The disorder really has caused my marriage to suffer.
She only comes to the bedroom when it's time to be intimate.
I refuse to be intimate with my husband with the lights on. Otherwise, it's a no-go.
I sleep alone, I eat alone, I go to the grocery store alone. I feel as though I'm alone in this marriage.
Michael doesn't understand the disease, and he doesn't understand that I feel like a prisoner in my own body. I feel like I'm knocking on death's door.
I'm glad you guys are here, and I'm glad to talk to you. How are you feeling right now?
Anxiety ridden.
Uh-huh. Tell me what's going on inside your body and what your internal dialogue is right now.
You eat, right? 3 different meals a day?
At least.
I don't. I eat.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm a food giant, so that's something I do all the time. And you used to enjoy food, right?
Love it.
You
Love
used to
I don't know
go
where this
out
came
and
from. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, you used to go out and eat and drink and have fun and
Oh, I used to drink. Oh, yeah.
yeah. And you had a good time and
Oh, yeah.
enjoyed it. And you want your wife back, right?
Yes.
What you had before.
Right.
Okay. Right now, you're living on certain things that you call safe foods,
Correct.
right? and they're not healthy foods, actually. You eat,
Some of them are.
well, you eat Laffy Taffy and ice cream and protein shakes. Those are,
Yeah,
I assume
muscle
those are
milk,
healthy.
strawberries, some
Okay.
safe, most junk food, really.
Yeah.
Chips.
M&M's, soda, squash, broccoli, strawberries, cheese. Why are these foods safe?
Those are foods that I know that I'm not going to choke on, and I know that I'm not going to have an anaphylactic shock to.
How do you know? Well, you've
Well,
tried
because
it,
I keep
obviously.
eating them, and nothing's
Okay.
happened. I'm not dead.
But there are other foods that you could eat and you wouldn't have that reaction, but you haven't.
But in my mind,
Right.
when that plate of food is in front of me, it is so, the fear is so real, I can't eat it.
And can you tell by the texture in your mouth?
It doesn't even make it to my mouth.
Okay.
I just look at it and
So you don't know this
Freak out.
empirically, you just decide it. It isn't that you've
I've
tested
had
it.
7 allergy tests, so many that Blue Cross Blue Shield won't pay for them anymore.
And
And
they're
they
all
all come
negative.
negative. But in my mind, that peanut is, it's gonna close my throat and I'm going to die.
What's your theory about this? Why do you think she would do this?
I'm at my wit's end. I don't really know entirely. I think that back when she had, alcohol issues,
Right.
that she just drank so much and ate so little that slowly but surely food started to become like not part of the picture. And then, once she didn't drink anymore, it was like she could never get back to eating. And then she had all these kind of irrational fears just
But where do they
out
come
of
from, in
nowhere.
your opinion? Because a lot of people
I
stop
agree with
drinking
that.
and don't stop eating.
She's severely anxiety-ridden about a lot of things, but
Right.
she has a lot of fears that you'd call maybe irrational. I don't know.
Now, a lot of people will look at this, her family might look at this and say, oh, it's just all in her head. Just get over this.
Are you kidding me? My mother tells me to just eat a lasagna and get over it.
Yeah. Take a look at what everyday life is for Vanessa.
He's just the shake maker. So I eat about 3 of these a day. I hate drinking this every single day. I can't take it anymore.
I definitely feel like a slave to shake. Every day, the same shake.
As sick as you are of making them, I'm sick of eating them, trust me. Please be better. Please. It's really life. It's really awful. These are little cheeses. I really like these. I know this looks little to like most people, like they just eat it in one bite. This will take me probably 10 bites to eat this little piece of cheese. But now we have to wait. We have to put this down right here. I don't do this a million times. And take another little bite. It'll take me about a good 5 minutes to eat a piece of cheese this big. Not normal. Not normal at all. Unsafe foods that I won't eat, like the criteria for them have to be too many ingredients or choking hazard, allergies, or thick like a steak. That just looks so disgusting. That's a no-no.
How do you feel when you look at that?
I can't even look at it. It's just disgusting. I just want to close the drawer. It's just disgusting. It's a hard, chewy, nasty, choking hazard to me. That's what that is. That's a choking hazard.
Okay, and
That sucks, huh?
that's terrible for
Yeah.
you, right? I mean, you feel like a prisoner.
Yeah. I am a prisoner.
I want to take a look at historically what your weight has been, and I've arranged these side by side. Before March 2014, your weight was 115 pounds.
Yes, that
Okay.
picture, I look
Right.
great. That's my bridal shower.
Then we've got April 2015, 75 pounds. What do you see there?
A mess. A disaster.
What happened between here and here in your mind?
Well, I got a hepatitis B vaccination that my throat did end up closing up, and I had to run home to him to give me Benadryl, and that's when it went really bad. Because then in my mind, everything that went into my body was gonna give me that same reaction.
How did you make the shift from injection to ingestion?
I don't have a doctrine in psychology. You do. I don't know. I don't know.
Well, I hate to tell you this, but this is a joint effort because you're an expert on you. You know what's going on.
I don't. That's why I came to you. I don't know what's going on.
So you want me to figure it out?
Yes.
Well, this is me figuring it out. So you felt your throat close after the injection?
Yes.
And if you put something in your throat for a split second, it does close because there's food in it.
Right.
So that replicates what happened in that split second.
Probably.
And you felt really helpless during the time when your throat was closing before you got the Benadryl.
Yeah, I had to run home to him. I was freaking out. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, next, Michael says Vanessa has convinced herself that she has had everything from ovarian cancer to a heart attack. He says she even takes on his illnesses. Well, we'll talk about that more after the break.
Vanessa's always been worried about getting an illness. If she has chest pain, she's convinced she's having a heart attack. Vanessa had a partial hysterectomy. I don't think she needed a hysterectomy. I think the doctor just wanted to get her out of his office.
And later, who can forget Sexy Vegan?
I am the beautiful vegan messiah. My mom did not bail me out of jail when she knew I was innocent.
Security, get him out of here.
Monday on an all-new Dr. Phil. His wife worked for the Secret Service.
You were caught in Tower 1 on 9/11.
But she went from being a protector
I want my son to feel safe.
to feeling trapped.
I've never been physical.
You are angry, and you are showing that anger.
He's put his foot through the wall.
She has PTSD. Triggers are violence, and you're one of those triggers, my friend.
That's Monday.
I'll show you the safe foods. If it's soft or chewy like a candy, I know that I'm not gonna choke on, I know I'm not gonna be allergic to. Normal people don't have this much candy. And then chips are some of my favorites. My lemonades. Here's where all the boosts are always gonna be. Here's all my different ice creams. I have vanilla, vanilla caramel, creamsicle, peppermint stick, and strawberry. I don't think it's possible to choke on ice cream. And if I do choke, there's no one there to save me.
Well, Michael says Vanessa's fear of food isn't the first time that she's adopted an illness. He says he's terrified even to get sick around her because she'll play copycat with his illnesses. Take a look at what he had to say.
Vanessa's always been worried about getting an illness. If she has chest pain, she's convinced she's having a heart attack.
Anytime I ever went to the hospital, it always turned out to be true. So anybody who thinks I'm a hypochondriac can just off.
Vanessa thought she had ovarian uterine cancer, but it just turned out to be an ovarian cyst. Vanessa had a partial hysterectomy. I don't think she needed a hysterectomy. I think the doctor just wanted to get her out of his office. Vanessa even takes on my illnesses. If I have problems with my feet, she has problems with her feet. If I have a headache, trust me, she has a headache. It's like she plays copycat.
I was diagnosed with obsessive compulsive disorder. So with medication, it has to be the same brand. Otherwise, it's a fight with the pharmacist like you would not believe.
If Vanessa doesn't like the medication the doctor is offering, she causes a huge scene.
I've been banned from CVS 2 times now.
You say that you're not a hypochondriac, but I want to look at the behaviors that have gone on, the things that you have endured here, because I want to tell you, I might be the first person that you've talked to that gets that this is very real for you, okay? And I'm very serious about that because people say, oh, it's all in your head.
Besides, it wasn't just one ovarian cyst.
It's 5.
I had 5. I had 5 of them.
I got to do my homework. Got it. By the way, you seem to really have a chip on your shoulder.
Because I'm really pissed with him this morning. We fought all night.
Well, not just this morning. I mean, even in your tape pieces, you seem to be like 1 inch from jump.
Yeah.
Why is that?
Well, I'm pissed off. I don't want to eat the same 3 times a day. I hate my life.
Good. That's what I wanted to know. Is that what you're mad about? I made a list of the behaviors you're enduring, and I look at this as you're enduring them. Because as I told you, I get Yeah.
I never said you weren't enduring.
Yeah.
You called me a hypochondriac. You said I
She's not a
take
hypochondriac.
on your illnesses.
She's also not a malingerer. She's not somebody that makes this up for attention, secondary gain, or anything of the sort.
Yeah, that's what I do. I wake up in the morning and I say, whose day can I
No,
mess up today?
Thank you.
Can
Thank
I
you
mess
for the
up
edit.
today?
Thank you for the edit. You know, and here's the, here are the behaviors. You've been to like 10 doctors in 12 years. You've been banned from doctors and pharmacies. You've been homebound pretty much for 3 months. You won't go to the grocery store. You're afraid that you're going to choke and die. You've had 7 allergy tests, they're all negative, but yet you carry 3 EpiPens.
Everywhere I go.
There was a time when you were drinking like 2 bottles of wine a day. There was a time that you were using heroin.
Yes.
You've had alcohol poisoning 3 times.
Gastritis 3 times.
And you've raged, you've had blackouts.
Yes.
And you reject the OCD and schizophrenia diagnoses.
No, I don't reject the OCD. I know I have OCD. I definitely obsess over food. I totally acknowledge that, yeah. Schizophrenia is when voices talk to you. I don't have that problem.
You were diagnosed from rehab, right?
I was diagnosed from rehab with alcohol, like when I would get like too drunk, that they diagnosed me, but I don't really.
Like alcohol-induced psychosis?
Correct.
Okay. Yeah.
Correct.
Yeah, well, I wasn't there at the time, so I don't know. You certainly don't seem psychotic to me now.
Well, I've been sober for almost 2 years.
Yeah.
In 2009, Vanessa began drinking excessively. It was common for her to down 2, maybe even more bottles of wine in a day. We couldn't go anywhere because she would get wasted. 2012, she was rushed to the ER with her kidneys failing and her stomach lining too thin. Later that year, Vanessa went into a wild, drunken rage, destroying items all over our house, including multiple TVs.
When I was drinking out of control, I have hurt family members mentally and physically.
In 2014, she began using heroin and went to rehab at least 6 times, costing me over $100,000. But to Vanessa's credit, she quit drinking and heroin.
I've been clean and sober for almost 2 years. I have had times in my life where I've been hurt. When I was about 6 or 7, my mom left me with a family member and he sexually molested me. I was raped 4 years ago right here in Burbank, California. We were really good friends and I got drunk that night and I could have done so much that night and I didn't do anything. I did nothing. I would have called the cops. He choked me and he put a cigarette out in my chin. People always ask me why I don't have children, and the truth is that I'm afraid they'll end up exactly like me.
I think I know why this is happening, and I'm going to tell her when we come back.
Tuesday on an all-new Dr. Phil. He lasted 11 days in office.
Reportedly escorted off White House property.
Anthony Scaramucci.
I became overly ambitious, and I ended up doing things I totally regret.
For the first time, he reveals why his wife almost left him.
Did he come home and say, guess what, I'm going to start working in the White House?
No, we actually never really talked about it.
You didn't discuss this with your wife?
That's Tuesday.
I'm already married. I don't have any wedding pictures because I wasn't crazy about my body at the time. But I ordered this and I'm just like so in love with it. When I try it on, I cry because it doesn't fit. It's a size 2. It's still like so big on me, but it's just so depressing that I just can't wear it and take my photos yet. I need to gain this weight so I can wear this dress.
Now, Vanessa says she must have access to Michael at all times out of fear that he'll choke on food and die or get hurt in a car crash if something might happen to him. Michael says he's tired of dealing with Vanessa and her issues. Take a look.
I probably call Michael about 15 times a day. I have some fear that he's gonna die.
Vanessa will call me incessantly throughout the day. When I'm at work, it's so many times, and if I don't answer the phone, she'll have a panic attack and just keep calling me and calling me. You can see it on my phone. These are all Monday 5 times she called there, 3 times she missed me. There, 8 times. And Tuesday, 8 calls. That's just typical days.
I just want to make sure he's okay. Oh God, he's choked on food or he's in a ditch.
If I didn't answer, then typically she would think that I died.
Just answer the damn phone and I won't call.
Do you know that since that tape now, he kind of screwed himself because now I don't call him at all?
Yeah.
She's gotten a lot better.
Won't call him at all.
Once that happened, she cut back the phone calls.
Because I was so mad that he said that, because I was just like being concerned for them. So now, you don't want me to call you? I won't call you.
Shows you can make a choice.
Sure can.
Right?
I've made a choice to do a lot of things in life.
Yeah.
I made a choice to get sober by myself off 2 things at the same time. That was probably the hardest thing I've ever had to do. Now I'm dealing with this, the second hardest thing I'm ever gonna have to do.
And how do you define anxiety?
Just fear, it's just a phobia. That's all it is. I know that this is all in my head. I just need
No.
help.
Well, let's define all in your head. What do you mean when you say all in your
Like
head?
I know I can eat that food, but when it's right in front of me, the fear is so real, I can't do it.
You say you know you can, you just think you can't.
Right.
And I don't think that's true.
Like the test says that I can eat the food, so
Well,
why
the
can't I eat
test says
the
that
food?
you won't have an allergic reaction to
Right.
it. But listen, let me unpack this for you. For every thought you have, there's a physiological event that goes along with it. And your internal dialogue right now is horrifying. Your internal dialogue is that the world is full of things that will kill you if they get inside your mouth.
Correct.
Walking through a grocery store for you is like going through a house of horrors. So why is this happening to you? The vaccination was just one event that created a physiological reaction. You are having a lot of anxiety, and you said it's just a phobia. I have the opinion that there's only one phobia, and that's a fear of losing or being out of control. When you had that injection and you started closing up, you felt out of control. And it scared the bejeebers out of you. Now, anything that makes you think that's going to reoccur brings back to you, almost in a PTSD fashion, that you're going back into that loop of being out of control. Now, you were out of control when you were 6 or 7, and you got in a bad situation then. You didn't have the power or control to change that. When you got raped by a friend who then puts a cigarette out on your chin, you're out of control in that situation. You physically don't have the ability to stop the events that are going on. There has been trauma in your life where you have been out of control, and you hate that. You absolutely hate that. You have this fear of something starting and running away, and you don't have the ability to stop it. That's why you carry 3 EpiPens. That's why you call him 85 times.
Not anymore.
Because you have this fear that you can't control what's happening. Will Vanessa be able to move past these issues? And I'm going to be very specific about what needs to happen when we come back.
So these are my EpiPens. I carry these just in case anything were to ever happen. I won't leave the house without these.
An allergy doctor prescribed these to her just to appease her. She has never used any of them, not once.
I have taken so many allergy tests that my insurance company refuses to pay for them anymore. My tests always come back negative, but I don't believe the results at all.
Vanessa, what I'm telling you is, I think you've had trauma in your life when you were out of control. And near as I can tell, that trauma's never been resolved. I mean, there's never been anything done to heal those wounds.
No.
This is a complex and layered situation, and if you treat just the eating aspect of this, then one of two things are going to happen. It's going to come back, or it's going to express itself in another way if you don't deal with the cause, if you don't deal with the underlying trauma.
Just tell me what to do, and I'll do it.
I want to introduce you to somebody right here. This is Dr. John Caldwell. He's the medical director of Meadows Behavioral Health. They have created a unique treatment program solution that is built on their unique expertise to treat complex patients. Now, Vanessa will have the benefit, if she chooses to, of the Willow House program specifically for women. She will have a variety of trauma treatment therapies, and they will also tap into their program at Ramuda Ranch, which specializes in women's eating disorders, because it goes along with everything that we're talking about here. Now, I asked Dr. Caldwell to come here because they specialize in two things: trauma and eating disorders. And I believe that you have an eating disorder secondary to trauma. Dr. Caldwell, this is a highly intelligent, motivated individual that is a perfect fit for your protocol. Would you agree?
Yes, I agree. I agree completely with Dr. Phil that the approach needs to be sort of a dual approach where we have to give you the skills and the tools to be able to manage your current situation. At the same time, we need to help you to work on those underlying issues, and we can help you in your journey for healing.
That's our plan, and that's our gift to you.
Thank you so much.
Okay? All right? Okay. Make a deal?
Yeah, thank you so much.
All right, next, he changed his name from Hans to Sexy Vegan and moonwalked across the stage, verbally abusing his mother and disrespecting my audience. Viewers wanted to know what happened to Sexy after I kicked him off the stage and out of the building. Well, he's back today. We're going to find out what he's been up to next.
My name is Sexy Vegan. I'm drop dead gorgeous and a great singer dancer.
I am the beautiful vegan messiah.
No, you need to look at me.
I'm gonna have to do.
Okay, take him out.
Monday on an all-new Dr. Phil. His wife was Secret Service.
She has PTSD. Triggers are violence.
I've never been physical.
You're one of those triggers, my friend.
That's Monday.
People lie and say I'm grotesquely ugly, and so I'll carry around the mirror with me so I'll look and see that I am drop dead gorgeous. My image is very important to me. I look at my collection of mirrors all the time to study myself and my beauty. When I dance in front of the mirror, I can create a really striking image. Skinny with a big butt, I got junk in my trunk, but I'm keeping it.
Well, who can forget Sexy Vegan? He certainly is hard to miss. We met him and his mother, Susan, 3 months ago when she was at her wit's end. She wanted her son to be a productive member of society, but he couldn't last long enough on this stage for me to have that conversation. Take a look.
My name is Sexy Vegan. I got my name legally changed to Sexy Vegan. Hans no longer fits me.
Do you think he's mentally ill?
Yes. When I go out, everyone stares at me because I wear a Speedo-esque outfit and I'm exotic like a Lamborghini SV.
He tattooed his face and eyebrows.
These tears right here are for the suffering of the over 70 billion animals in cages so small they cannot move. The star is superstardom that I'm going to achieve, and it's for pleasure.
He aspires to be in the government, some kind of official first American king.
Either first American king or president.
Yeah.
I didn't know we had that.
I've been arrested 15 times. I was arrested for public urination. I was arrested for a criminal threat. None of these arrests were fair.
He sees my mom as a pocketbook.
He sees your mom as an ATM.
Really.
And you say, well, you know, I'm afraid if he goes to jail, he'll get beat up. Well, then he'll quit going to jail.
I get the feeling he can't help himself.
What you're doing, he's been arrested 15 times.
Yeah.
So we need to fire you.
I am the beautiful vegan messiah. My mom did not bail me out of jail when she knew I was innocent. I'm liberating over 70 billion pigs in cages so small they cannot move for years, okay? I work. My mom's a sociopathic piece of I have the highest score in hot or not history. I got 9.9 out of 10 after 327 women rated me. Let's see your talent. Let's see your talent, you ugly piece of
Okay, stop. Hey, look at me.
Let's
look
see
at
your
me.
talent.
No, hey. No, you need to look at me.
I don't have to do
Okay, take him out. Security, get him out of here.
Thank God. Thank God.
No. You're not going to come out here and use that kind of language in front of my audience. And audience, I apologize. That is childish and immature behavior. And
now I get to leave.
Yes, you do.
No.
Don't let the door hit you in the ass. You deserve better than what you're getting. Okay, well, joining me is Sexy's mother, Susan, and Dr. Charles Sophie, who, among other things, is the medical director for the LA County Department of Child and Family Services. He is also board certified in 3 different areas of psychiatry and one of the most noted psychiatrists in America. Thank you for being here as well.
Thank you.
Dr. Sophie is also a member of the Dr. Phil Advisory Board and a good personal friend of mine, so he drew the short straw. And so I called on you and asked you to step in. And you weren't surprised when he didn't want to appear when he came out here. He was nervous and all of that.
Yeah,
and
I wasn't surprised.
He started performing. Yeah. But he did call back and say if help was available, he did want it.
Yeah.
When you first met him, what was your experience?
Well, once I got past the shorts and all that stuff, because it is a little scary.
Yeah.
I felt that he was a very warm, loving, empathetic human being, but it was all misconstrued and miscommunicated.
Right.
And that his anxiety was really the biggest barrier for him, and that's what was making him trip up.
He's back today. Why?
I think he wants to show you and his mother and everyone else that he does have the ability to get himself together. He's capable to present himself in a very respectful, appropriate way. But he knows his place now, and he knows how to handle his anxiety.
Now, since that time, have there been incidents with neighbors? Has he been arrested? Has he been?
No.
So.
It's a record.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. So you've had some profound effect on him.
I guess, or else he's afraid of me, something.
Yeah. Well, coming up, it's been 3 months since the last time we saw Sexy. You won't want to miss what Sexy has to say. We'll be right back. Today's show is almost over, but we are hard at work on tomorrow's show and beyond. And we are always looking for great guests. Do you feel like you have a story I won't believe? Make sure to log on to drphil.com and click Be on the Show or text Phil to 88500. Who knows? You may be the next guest I have out there on the stage.
The #1 show in daytime is taping now. All we need is you.
If you're going to be in the Los Angeles area and want to watch a live taping of the Dr. Phil Show, call 323-461-PHIL or visit drphil.com. Tickets are free, and I hope to see you soon.
My main problem is my mom. She does not believe in me. She's very pessimistic. She always sees the negative. She's sadistic at times. My mom wants me to conform to society and be normal. Working 9 to 5 and wearing a suit, and that's just not me.
My mom, she doesn't like the face tattoos. I look like a weirdo. My goal is to break into acting and be a big movie star like Tom Cruise, but now with the face tattoos, I'm more distinct.
I have several YouTube videos. I've been kicked off a YouTube channel. I got terminated for over-sexual strike.
Got so much booty that J-Lo asked for change.
Well, when we first met Susan last year, she was in a crisis because she said her once sweet and lovable son had really lost his grip on reality. And Sexy Vegan, as he is now known because he went down and legally changed his name, refused to abide by society's rules. And when he was here, I was forced to have him escorted off stage. Here is what life has been like for Sexy since the show.
My appearance on Dr. Phil was a total disaster, a lost opportunity. The way I behaved was wrong. My mom's a sociopathic piece of
My biggest regret is yelling at Dr. Phil.
You need to look at me.
I don't have to do
Okay, take him out.
He was trying to help me, but I didn't see that at the time.
I hated seeing myself yell at my mom. I'd be homeless without my mom. I disrespected everyone. I was I haven't been arrested since the show, so that in itself is amazing. I still love wearing Speedos. However, if you don't want to get arrested,
I'll put something a little more than the Speedo on. I've learned, with the help of Dr. Sophie, to ignore negative reaction and haters out in public and to not need outside validation. I carry the mirror a lot, actually.
But I'm more focused on getting my music out there.
I said different strokes for different folks.
One of my songs inspired by Dr. Phil, Different Strokes for Different Folks.
Different strokes for different folks.
He said it on the show and it stuck with me.
Why does everyone have to be the same? The answer is everyone's different. Do what you do, as long as you're not harming anyone, animals and insects too.
Oh, I'm very focused about ending world suffering.
People tell me I inspired them to go vegan now.
I'm big on all lives matter. Even cockroaches, man. Cockroaches are misunderstood. I'm really sorry
What's
about
up, man?
last time. I really
That's all right.
appreciate it. It's so nice of you to forgive me and have me back.
Well, have a seat.
Thank you, sir.
I'm glad to have you back. It was 3 months since you were here last time, and you haven't been arrested.
Correct.
You haven't had complaints from your neighbors. You haven't been kicked out of your apartment. Why?
Well, Dr. Sophie's been such a help to me. He just came into my life at the right time, and he just knew like what to say.
Right. You say being on the show last time, the way you chose to approach it was a disaster.
Yeah, absolutely.
What was take me through your thinking at the time.
Well, after the show, I thought I was going to get committed. I just had that feeling. Like when the security was escorting out, I'm like, uh-oh, I'm going to get committed.
5150 right here.
Yeah, I've been there before. So when I was not 5150, I was grateful. But then when I got home, I was really depressed, and I cuddled with my dog. I'm like, you know, maybe I'll never be successful. Then I reached out to my mom because I was desperate and hopeless, and Sophie came into my life, Dr. Sophie.
Well, I've often said I'm the least judgmental person I've ever met. I mean, I'm sure there are other people out there.
I wish more people were like you.
The thing that struck me is I am a huge animal lover.
Oh, that's
I rescued a dog 13 years ago. I've still got her today, Maggie. I give more money to animal charities than any other charity. And I knew that you're very sincere about that. So I thought anybody that's got that kind of heart has got to be a good guy at the core of his soul. So I said, you know, absolutely, bring him on.
I appreciate that.
I don't care if he dances backwards. If he loves animals, I mean, I'm down with him. So I approached it with really an open mind and wanted to sit down and talk with you. So I'm glad to do it now.
You know, I do get judged a lot for being different.
The extremes are going to push people away.
Or else they get a little too scared, right?
Yeah, those shorts could be scary.
So, well, when we come back, there were some things that went on between Sexy and his mom last time. I want to talk about that when we come back and see where we go from here. We'll be right back.
Tuesday on an all-new Dr. Phil. He lasted 11 days in office.
Reportedly escorted off White House property.
Anthony Scaramucci.
I became overly ambitious, and I ended up doing things I totally regret.
For the first time, he reveals why his wife almost left him.
Did he come home and say, guess what, I'm going to start working in the White House?
No, we actually never really talked about it.
You didn't discuss this with your wife?
That's Tuesday.
Well, I'm back with Sexy, and that's not just an opinion, that's his name. He had it changed to Sexy Vegan. I'm back with his mother, Susan, and Dr. Charles Sophie, who has been working with Sexy for the better part of the last 3 months. Now, when you were here before in real anger, you said some really ugly things about your mother.
That's correct.
You don't really feel that way about her, do you?
No.
I didn't take it personally.
Yeah. What do you want for your son?
I want him to be successful, not just money, but successful, happy, healthy.
Your message is about animals, and one of the things I heard you say when you were ranting before, but there was some content in there about how many animals are kept in cages and that sort of thing. That message needs to be heard, and it can get lost in some of the antics.
That's what
a message that needs to be heard.
Because I want everyone to be free and happy. I don't want the animals in cages so small they can't move for 2.5 years, and all living beings to get cancer, heart disease, diabetes. And the food you feed the 70 billion tortured animals, you could feed all 7 billion people. So it's, you know, very important.
But these animals that are trapped in cages are a real problem for you.
Yeah.
And that's a message worth talking about. It made me think about it, even in the middle of all of the stuff where I'm having security drag you out of the house.
That's because you're smart.
That message stuck with me. So there you go. All right, we've got to stop. We're out of time. Special thanks to my guests today, especially Dr. Charles Sophie and Dr. John Caldwell from Meadows Behavioral Health. For more information on today's show, log on to drphil.com. I'm going to invite Sexy Vegan to write a blog about these animals, and I'm going to post it up on drphil.com so you can read it. Thank you, and we'll see you next time.
I appreciate it.
You like that? That's a lot of millions of people visit. All right.